So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Radio Works World. My name's Gill Barham. I'm the Miracle Molecule host, and I'm having a light-hearted conversation with the amazing, the awesome, the motivational queen, Zoe Bennett. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. And you're even more awesome today because you received an award, didn't you? We were together on Saturday.
Yes, I'm really honoured to have that award actually. So yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah, so just tell us a little bit about it.
It was the Inspirational Woman of the Year award. It's now, I think, my fourth or my fifth one of Inspirational Woman out of my 17 awards in the past less than a year. So it's just really humbling that people keep seeing me as this inspirational being. So it's really nice.
I absolutely agree with them. So before we start on our light-hearted conversation, Zoe, it's important that we tell everybody, just in case there's one or two people that don't know who you are and what you're passionate about and what you do.
Okay, so who I am is Zoe Bennett. I own a personal development training company, and I deal with people such as corporates to one-to-one clients, maybe business owners who need the mojo back. So we structure and we give them a plan of action, just make it real and practical and deliver results. I also go into schools and deliver employability and entrepreneurship workshops as well as resilience. And I work with ladies from disadvantaged backgrounds such as domestic violence, honour-based violence, FGM. And I do the confidence building, the self-boosting sessions with them. And I'm also on the business board for the NSPCC, an ambassador also for the Women and Families Resource Centre. I'm a champion for the disability charity Include Me Too. I'm the founder of the Midlands Business and Community Charity Awards, and that is where all the profits go back to charity, where we recognise and value unsung heroes in both the business world and the community, where they would normally not get recognised. Last year we had over 300 people in attendance and it was amazing. And I'm also the founder of the Removing the Shame and Guilt conference, and that's for people who come from backgrounds of physical violence and or emotional abuse. And that conference went ahead 2 weeks ago at Birmingham City University to a packed out auditorium alongside workshops. And it was just so mind-blowing. The testimonials were amazing. I'm also creating the male version to that. So that's happening on the 11th of November at Birmingham City University, because it's really important to recognise that this is not gender specific. It does affect everybody, whether you're male or female, no matter what creed, culture, religion, whatever you may be, it affects everybody. So we all need to work together as one race, the human race.
Wow. Just wow. Just wow. Yeah. Just to explain to me, there was one thing that you said that I didn't understand. What's FGM?
Female genital mutilation. So I actually hosted a BBC filmed chat show in January with the charity which I am the ambassador for. That's the Women and Families Resource Centre in Wolverhampton. And that was an alternative form of FGM, which was iron, it's breast ironing, it's awful to say, and labia pulling.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, these are practices that are actually happening, have been happening for years, but they felt it was necessary for us to have a topic around it and see people's points of views, and if they deem it something that should carry on or not carry on, and if it's inhumane, etc. So we had a very interesting conversation around that, and many people, including myself, did not know about breast ironing and labia pulling, and honestly, on the flip, there's some people that are just so used to it happening to them, and on the other, there's people who feel so traumatized by it that it affects them daily. It's just so sad.
Wow. Well, thank you for spending just half an hour with us, because you obviously, I know you're Superwoman anyway. But so thank you very much for, giving a little bit of your time. So today's conversation is just to give everybody the little bit of kind of background behind the person, Zoe. Now, I know that you've got a really traumatic story. I heard that on Saturday, and it is quite amazing. to talk about that today. We're here to talk about the lighthearted Zoe and to bring out some of the person Zoe behind all of the amazing things that you do, and all the things that you believe in. Is that okay?
Oh, of course. Very much okay.
Okay, and Zoe has no idea what I'm going to ask her at all, so it's all completely, off the cuff. She has no idea. All right, so let's make this a little bit of fun. So Zoe, this is my first kind of question to you, and it's a bit of a scenario. So I'm going to put you into a situation where you're going into a hotel, and you're going to your room on the top floor of the hotel. And as you get in the lift to go into this hotel, well, Americans call it the elevator, one other person is going to get in the lift with you. But as you go up to the 6th and the 7th floor, you get stuck between those two floors. Now, it's one of those lifts where there's lots of glass, so you're not going to get claustrophobic. That's the first thing to say. And you've been told that not to panic, that they are going to get you out of there, but it's probably going to take 2 hours or so to get you out of there. So what I'd like to know is, who would that person be that you got into the lift with that you'd like to spend a couple of hours with? Who from dead or alive, from history, or that's alive now, who would you love to spend 2 hours with to grill and ask all those questions or just have a nice time with?
Do you know something? And everyone who knows me knows what I'm going to say right now. My dad.
Okay. Your dad. Yeah.
Everyone, if I could have just a little moment, because he was just one of the wisest people ever. And he was a person who taught me how to be methodical in my approach and not to rush things. And he also taught me that shortcuts don't make it, and it's never too late for a shower of rain. So, no matter, even if you feel that you're not quite getting there, eventually through perseverance, you'll get there if you just have the patience. So that's the person, because those lessons on themselves are so valuable that I just love to learn some more nuggets from him. That's really what it is. Yeah.
And you shared with us on Saturday, because you lost, how many years ago was it that your dad was murdered?
December 17th, 2011.
And 11, so we're nearly 6 years now. What you did share with us, and I think this is very common for those of us that are a parent or have had parents or will be a parent, is that, you don't necessarily understand those pearls of wisdom when they're coming at you at the time, do you? It's only really in retrospect, or as you get older, that you value, your dad or your mother or whatever. So sage lesson for my children. Well, they do appreciate me, I know. But, I remember you saying this, and at the time it may have felt that he was being a bit kind of, I don't know, bossy maybe, or lecturing. Yes, that was the word you used. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But no, I actually I've got a 21-year-old now, and she finished university doing law and criminology, and I tell her all these lessons that I've learned, and I tell her all these things that I've learned further on down the line. And I keep saying to her, I'm always right. I'm always right, so you might as well listen to me now. And you know what your granddad was like with me, and you know where it's got me now. So she actually listens, and no quibbles. She's like, I know you're going to be right. Even if I don't want to, you're going to be right. She didn't want to go to university. She's finished now. She's so grateful. So, yeah. It does work.
Yeah, okay, it does work. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And people sometimes say to me, "Oh, you're so lucky to have the children. Your children are so lovely." Actually, I've worked quite hard, or my husband and I've worked quite hard to bring them up and get them to where they need to be. We'll take some of that credit. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Why not? I've had a conversation about nurturing and nature, and actually, it is all about nurturing in the right way. And I believe that.
Yeah. If we could pass that on to the world, that would be a fantastic message, wouldn't it? Okay, so in this lift, you when you got in, you were actually on your way to lunch with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to magic you up your lunch on a very nice posh tablecloth with lovely china and everything. So what is the meal that and what you're going to have to drink with your dad? What would you have? What would you share together?
Okay. First of all, my starter would be a pancake. A pancake with sugar and jam and honey.
say.
I know, I love pancakes. And then my main meal would be mashed potatoes and lamb, because I love mashed potato and my dad loves lamb.
Okay.
Yeah, minted
Right.
lamb.
Okay.
Yeah, with vegetables. And then dessert would be any
Another
type
pancake.
of sponge cake. No, it's sponge cake and custard, because we would really enjoy our cake and custard because I love to bake. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice that you love to bake. I'm a good big baker as well. Okay. And what would you be guzzling at the same time?
Cranberry juice. Or if I'm really pushing the boat out, because I'm not a drinker, I rarely drink. If I have to drink, Cinzano and lemonade.
Oh, okay. You've got a very sweet tooth, Zoe.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness me. Okay, fabulous. Right. So thank you for sharing that. Now, I'm going to take you back to the 18-year-old Zoe now. So would you share with us a little bit about what the 18-year-old Zoe was doing, where you were?
Wow. Okay.
I was what you were doing
in London. I was at South Bank University on Wandsworth Road in London. I'd moved from not from Ladbroke Grove, because it used to take me 2.5 hours every day to get to university. Moved to Peckham, and then from Peckham I moved to West Norwood. And life was really good at the time, actually. It was really good. So yeah.
What's hard about being at university?
Yeah. The only thing is that I actually came back early from university because I got pregnant.
Oh, oops.
Oh, well.
How did that happen? And what were you studying? Sorry, what were you studying?
Estate management.
Estate management?
Estate management, yeah. So it's more architectural kind of design.
Yeah. But that's you didn't ever finish it, so you didn't go into that area in the end.
Didn't finish it on that area, so I went back and took myself years later, about 6-7 years later, back to university, and eventually got my master's in tourism management.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what was the 18-year-old Zoe listening to on the radio or whatever?
Oh, I'm a 90s girl in a 90s world. That's kind of thing. Yeah, it's very 90s music.
So was that what was that? Madonna was around in the 90s. What else was around in the 90s?
Well, my daughter is named after a group called Zhane, which was Zhane, but I call her Shane, Char.
Okay.
And that was a group called Hey Mr. DJ. That's the song. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
That was very much a music.
Okay, all right. Were you really into it? Did you go out and party a lot?
Oh gosh, I was an Iron Napa girl. I was in Iron Napa every year until I got to 33. Literally, I even took my daughter 1 year.
Did you? Okay, so let's leave the 18-year-old Zoe then. I'd like now you to tell us what was happening with you when you were 35.
Oh, when I was when, sorry?
When you were 35.
35? Gosh, that's not long ago. It's only 6 years ago. 35 was when my dad was murdered. So, yeah. So, I had a very good job at the time, and I was out in Jamaica, average each year, about 6-7 times a year, taking agents out. And yeah, I was up and down the UK. My area covered from Scotland down to Northampton, Ireland and Wales. So I lived out of a suitcase. I was in a hotel every night during the week, and sometimes 3 different hotels a week. Yeah. So because of that, I bought myself another house in Cheshire. I already had my house in Preston. I had a place stay in Leicester, in Birmingham, because I hated hotels that much that I used to buy properties, so at least I can try and pass through a property and stay there and at least have a minute for myself. So yeah.
So where was your daughter at that time then? How old was she by then?
She was ill. She would have been about teenager now, in my 30s. Yeah. She was permanently living with my mother because of the job that I was doing. Yeah. So, so I would at the weekends go back to Preston and be with her. But yeah, during the week, I was literally a hobo, a nomad, one of those people.
And were you happy at that time?
Do you know something? Do you know why I was happy? I had no time not to be anything else but happy because I was constantly busy and I constantly had a purpose. And my purpose was to try and beat my dad to retirement age. I wanted to retire at 40. Clearly that didn't happen. It would have done though.
Yeah, it would have done though. Okay, all right. So, thank you. Really, really interesting. So, I've got some quick fire questions for you now. I want you to choose one of these, basically. You ready? Yeah?
Ready.
Okay.
Yep.
So, are you a TV or a radio girl?
TV.
Do you like fiction or non-fiction?
Fiction.
Are you the oldest, middle, or youngest child?
Youngest.
Youngest. Were you a goody two shoes, the class clown, a bit of a handful, or were you under the radar at school?
Oh, handful-ish, but not too much.
Just a bit of a handful.
No, I just had an answer for everything.
Yeah, okay. We always say to one of our children, nobody loves the smart ass.
That's it.
Okay, so what's your best habit, would you say?
My best habit is, eating biscuits all in one go.
That's classed as a best habit, is it, Zoe? Oh dear. Okay, I can't bear to ask you this. What's your worst habit then? If that's your best habit, what's your worst habit?
My worst habit is that I can't leave the whole pack alone. Once I start, I've got to finish. Yeah.
Okay, we need to do something about your sugar addiction, girl, I think. Okay, so right, we'll smooth over that one. The next question is, what do you do to relax? It doesn't sound like you have a lot of time, but I think it's really important that you do. So what do you do to relax?
What is relaxing? So when I find out what it is, then maybe I might do it.
Well, here's the thing, that if you don't find a way to do it, someday something's going to catch up with you, and you might just think, I wished I'd spent a bit more time. Huh?
No regrets. No regrets.
No regrets. No regrets. Okay. Now, I'm interested to know whether you've got any or have ever had any nicknames.
Gosh, the only nicknames I get called is Zoe or ZDB. Yeah. That's ZDB. It. ZDB.
Zoe and ZDB.
Yeah, that's it.
That's okay. All right. And I don't know whether you know, but I like to sing. I study singing and all that sort of thing. So if I'm on stage and I drag you up with me, what would be your karaoke song?
Like a virgin. Hey! I love it.
Yeah. Like Madonna, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because of that 90s girl thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's quite amazing still, isn't she, actually? Yeah. All right. Okay. So that's the end of our quick fire rounds. I've got another little scenario for you now then. So this time I want you to imagine that you're going away on holiday, and I'm going to take care of all the arrangements for you. You're going to go away for a whole month. Even you're going to go away for a whole month. And I'm going to take care of all the flights and all the hotel rooms, and everything is taken care of. You've got no worries, no stress at all. What I'd like to know is, who would you choose to take away with you for a month that you could spend a whole month with without a cross word?
Somebody who has lost the ability to actually speak. And that's no joke, it's the truth. If I'm going to relax, I want peace and quiet. And it would have to be where there's no children, even though I've got a 5 and 6 year old disclaimer.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to take your children, you're just allowed to take one person. I tell you why I ask you this, because a couple of years ago, my husband and I have been together for nearly 35 years this year.
Oh, wow.
And we went to America for a month. And it was really nice, actually, because we did have a nice girl who took care of the flights and the hotels. So all we had to do was show up. That's all we had to do. We knew where we were going, and it was just brilliant because I'm used to organising my holidays, and it was just the most wonderful thing. We just to show up. And for the whole month, we literally spent 24 hours a day with each other, apart from one day when my husband went off on a Harley Davidson. We were together for 24 hours a day for that whole month, and we didn't have a crossword. So that was where the basis of this question came from.
Wow.
So is there anybody that you could do that with?
Who I could do? Yeah, a mute person. Seriously.
So the answer is no.
Gosh, that's a hard one. Honestly, the only person I could, and this is even people in my living circles, the only person I would never have a crossword with, who actually wouldn't bug me, is my dad.
It's your dad, yeah. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Because I think, it's a very special relationship, and it's very unusual, which is why the question is such a good question, is because it makes you think, and also it actually brings out that real person that is close to you. I'm very lucky in that person for me is my husband. I'm very close to my children, but they'd all drive me nuts in their own slightly little ways. But my husband and I, we're very fortunate in that, in that situation we don't. When we're here, of course, yeah, that's different because it's your turn to put the dishwasher on. It's not mine. And haven't you got the dog in yet? And all that kind of stuff. Okay, fabulous. Right. So alongside this radio show, and we're also creating a book that's going all around the world called Lighthearted Conversations with People of Significance. And you're definitely a person of significance. We're going to include a music track. And so I'm asking everybody to choose one track of music that you would play if you were feeling a bit, what would make you feel lighthearted? What music would you choose? If you said, oh, okay, I need to go out of the room, I need to leave the house just to help you feel lighthearted, what would that music track be?
There's quite a few, actually. Mine would have to be the Rocky. Dum, 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 dum.
I Have a Tiger. Yeah. I Have a Tiger, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Very motivational, yeah. I can see that you would like that. Is that the one you would choose?
I would definitely choose that.
Okay, that's fine. That goes in your set list. That's fine. That goes on my set list. All right. Now, even though we've had the conversation already about the sugar thing, and we probably need to have more of a conversation about the sugar shit. As you know, nowadays, my whole business and my passion and what I love to do is to be able to help people, particularly women, look after their heart. So not only their physical heart, so that they can achieve or make their promises, so that they stay around, basically, but also their emotional and their spiritual hearts too. So the heart that you have inside you, and also the heart that you have to give to the world, which is the title of my book. So I'd like to know from you if there's anything that you do that you should do or that you are doing to look after your physical heart in terms of diet and exercise and so on, but also what you do to look after your emotional and spiritual heart.
For my emotional and spiritual heart, I just try and be the best me that I can be and be uniquely me. And that actually gets rid of any angst, any anxiety, any uncertainty. It just makes me feel good as a person. So that for my inner being, I do. But as you know, yes, I'm very much, I'm a junk addict, actually. I shouldn't admit it, but I am. But I'm doing a lot better, I have to say. I have been having vegetables recently, which I've never even had a radish until a few weeks ago in my life. Won't eat celery. There's lots of vegetables I don't eat, but I am doing a lot better because I do believe that a healthy body is a healthy mind, all go hand in hand. So imagine if I'm like this anyway without being super healthy. Imagine when I've got all the healthiness inside of me.
You're going to be absolutely unstoppable, girl.
So that's why it doesn't stress me. I don't sweat it because I'm thinking, if I'm there already with what I'm doing now, imagine with the veg and everything else and the diet. Oh, I'm going to be soaring.
But what do you do for your children because you've got a 5 and 6-year-old? Did you say
They eat healthy? It's me.
they like veg? It's just you.
Every day I'm out from meetings to training. So as I'm passing by, I'll grab a Subway or whatever it is, and I'll eat fast. But every night I do cook. If I'm not cooking at the night, I prepare before I leave the house for the day. So yeah,
it's quite difficult, isn't it, when you are a busy woman? And one of my specialities is I'm so interested in the entrepreneurial woman because this fast-paced lifestyle sometimes makes it really difficult for us to be healthy and stay healthy because unfortunately whatever we might think, it will catch up with us in the end. And I think there are ways now, and the UK particularly is getting much better at creating those takeaway places where you can actually get healthy choices. But for me, creating those choices is just really about taking one step at a time. It's just all about creating better habits, really. And if you start to do that, then you're on the right track.
Yeah, but 100%. And I'm one of these. It's all about self-discipline, regardless of who you are. And until you're ready to do it, then you're never going to do it. And I'm clearly not ready. I will be ready. I know I will. But where my diet is my sort of self-sabotaging in a way, where I was wanting to be, it sounds crazy, I wanted to be closer to my dad. So I've never really bothered whether I die or not. So my health was something that, does it matter? I'm going to die anyway. But I'm working on myself with that. And now I'm at the place where I am going to make sure that everything in my life, not just my treating other people the way I want to be treated, goes, and helping as many people as I can in the shortest space of time. But now I do realise and recognise that now I need to bring myself into that alignment. And the reason I hadn't is because of, as you know, on Saturday, the death threats I'd been receiving, and I actually did check myself out of my life. So when you get to a point where you genuinely believe that you're going to die, and you're okay with it, and you say to your children, you tell them you're at the time there were 3 and 4, saying goodbye to them and your partner and everybody else, and setting things up because you're going to die, and then you get a stay of reprieve, a stay of execution. It doesn't change where your mind was at. It doesn't change that you've checked out and you're okay and at peace with dying. So since then, everything I've been doing, hence why I do a lot of things for charity, I've been doing because I believe my purpose for my own life is no longer there. My purpose is now just to help others and be the shining example so other people never feel the way that I've been put into those situations. So myself and I have no relevancy for myself. Hence why I'll eat what I want when I want. And second to that, that's twofold. My dad was the only person who could get me to eat healthy. My dad would always say, "Oh, kid, you're getting fat, kid. Come on, kid." And because I didn't have that, I was self-sabotaging to try and bring him back for him to come and say, "Hey, kid," and that wasn't coming. And I now know he's not going to come back to do that. So I need to, for my children's sake, sort out my own diet, and I will do. Yeah.
You need somebody else to champion you, and it's so very common, particularly with women. And even I do it to a certain degree as well. We all self-sabotage in some ways, and it's a really fascinating subject, isn't it? But one of the things that is that I see is that, as you say, most women that I work with are very, very intelligent women. So they know what they should be doing. They definitely know what they should be doing. I mean, there's lots of ways in which they get things wrong because, of course, majority of us spend too much time on Google looking up answers on Google, which is why you need somebody to help you. But as you say, the key to it is, are you ready? And when people come to me and they say, "Oh, Gill, can you help me?" My question to them, my first question to them is, are you ready? Because I can give you all the information that you need in order to live this healthy life that had to have the vitality and the well-being, not only for now, but to change the outcome for the future. But you have to be ready to do it. But I think what you said is really important because, some of us move away from pain and some of us move towards pleasure. Your pain, which is most people's worst nightmare, is dying, because a lot of people fear dying because they see it as the end. But if you've already faced that already, then, you know, threatening you, if you like, with you're not going to be around any longer if you don't eat properly is not going to work for you. So it's all about you finding the pleasure and finding, well, what is it that I'm going to get more of? Because you've already got lots of, but what am I going to get more of if I actually spend a little bit of time on that? And that's the fascinating conundrum for you.
Yeah, completely. So yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. If I've already gone to that place, when people say, "Oh gosh, you're going to die," like,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I've already
and I'm a pleasure girl. You know, when I set my goals are around pleasure. But sometimes when I talk to people, I have to create that kind of fear, and I hate the fear thing. I hate that approach about you better do this because if you don't, you're going to get this. But actually, because some people only respond to walking away from fear or pain, if that's going to work, then we have to use it. But I'd much rather everybody was like you, and we were able to concentrate much more on the pleasure side of it. Mm. You know, for me, if I achieve something, then I get a new pair of shoes. You know, it's as simple as that. Oh, we're motivated.
Triggers.
Yeah, everybody's got their triggers. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. Really, really, really interesting, and it's amazing, isn't it? And I'm sure this is why you're so good at what you do. Is that when you are working with women that have been as traumatized as you, and I can't think of anything worse than what you've been through, frankly. It means that you are so able to empathize with them and to be in their place, and they know, you know, because we all think that you don't understand me because you've never been where I am. Well, actually, Zoe Bennett, you know, bring it on. Yeah. Just tell me how bad it's been for you, because mine is equally bad. And, you know, living through that and out of that just is what makes you such a wonderful and shining example. And, you know, long may it continue. So on that note, I'd like you to tell us a little bit more. I know you mentioned a bit at the beginning of the call, but I'd like you to share with us what's coming up for you in the next month, in the next few months, up to Christmas maybe. What's really exciting that you're looking forward to?
Wow, exciting. Well, this weekend I'm hosting another event, Business Networking Expo on Saturday in Wolverhampton. And just before that, at 1:30 till 5, I'm running my workshop, Speaking Confidently, because I do actually have a running program called Speaking Confidently within networking, how to create content, how to create visibility, you know, so it's all about pushing past that initial fear and actually getting out there, whether it's a small boardroom, whether it's a stage of over 300 people, no matter what level you want to get to. So that's this week, and straight after that, they'll get entry into the expo. And then I am actually, as we're speaking now, just sorting out the venue for Manchester. I'm going to run the program there in Manchester. I have the MBCC Awards, which is the Midlands Business and Community Charity Awards. And that's happening in October. So I've got a lot of planning for that right now. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be really exciting. We have ITV presenter Leah Charles King co-hosting with Brad Burton. And we have a motivational speaker, which I just think is amazing, Richard McCann, whose mother was the first victim of the Yorkshire Ripper. So,
oh my goodness, right.
Yeah. So he'll be speaking. He said to me, Zoe, why do you want me to speak when you would be the right person for it? I'm like, well, no, it's not about me. I just want you, and I think you'd be perfect. So yeah.
Brilliant.
So that's what we've got coming up. And then the male version of the Removing the Shame and Guilt conference. So that's happening in November. So I'm doing all the planning for that. I have been handed a bus by National Express West Midlands. I'm just trying to hand the bus over to a charity. It's proving more difficult than I would have thought. You would have thought that somebody would want to take this bus off my hands, but not as straightforward as that. So we've got everything's going on in the next few days with that. So yeah, there's quite a lot going on, to be fair.
And where can we find out all about it? I've got your website here. Do you have all of your links from this website?
Yeah, I will be updating the Speaking Confidently link today. So when they
Yeah,
go on trainingpersonified.com, they can find further information. Just if you need anything, go to trainingpersonified.com and go to the Contact Us form, and then I'll
yeah.
answer any questions and direct you where necessary.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you're on Facebook, and you're on Twitter, you're T Personified, is that right? At T
On Twitter,
Personified?
it's changed now. It's at Zoe B Motivates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at Zoe B Motivates. Still training personified, but that's
Yeah,
the handle. And
yeah.
on Facebook, it's Motivational Queen, aka Zoe Bennett. So
Okay,
our
cool.
Facebook page is at Training Personified.
Brilliant. Okay, perfect. Well, I've really enjoyed our light-hearted conversation. I hope you have too.
Yes, I have. Thank you very much. Lovely to you.
Jolly good. Okay, well, we're going to keep in touch, and I'm hoping that you'll be part of the project that is going to come out of the back of this radio show, and we'll take you all around the world because we don't want you to be a best kept secret. We want you to make the news all over the world.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a fabulous day, and I'll be in touch soon.
Okay, you take care. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.